if you don't mind, I want to talk about Puffy for a second because when Keefe was first arrested, a lot of eyes were looking at towards Puff because is he next? Is he gonna be brought up on charges as well because Keefe was arrested? What do you think of his recent allegations of sexual misconduct?
Well, I think they're separate things. Clearly his relationship with Keefe D and the comments that he may have made, according to Keefe D, I don't think the criminal charges insofar as Tupac's murder, that's never going to be brought up against Puffy. The sexual allegation stuff, we're going to have to see. We'll see how that all goes. There was this interesting thing that happened in New York last year where they put a moratorium on the 3-year statute of limitations on adult sexual assault complaints in the civil courts, not in the criminal courts, but in the civil courts, because there was a 3-year statute of limitations. And so they said, no, we're going to, for 1 year, between November of 22 to November of 23, we're going to allow people that claim sexual assault occurred before the 3-year statute expired. So prior to 2019, those people can now file civil suits. And that's why there was the first girl, and then other people have followed up because there was this window of time that they had to file those allegations, those charges, those suits, in order for them to be within the window of this 1-year moratorium on the statute.
Mm-hmm. Can you see law enforcement taking interest in bringing him up on criminal charges? If more people come out and more attention, because this is right now, this is in the court of public opinion, but do you see law enforcement getting any?
Well, they're going to be obligated. Yeah, I mean, once these claims are filed, if there's criminal misconduct, then law enforcement is obligated to step in and conduct an investigation. The civil lawsuit obviously is the path of least resistance because it's much easier to convict somebody, and not convict, but hold somebody accountable in civil court than it is in criminal court, because the standard of proof is lower in civil court. It's just clear and compelling evidence versus beyond a reasonable doubt. So the standard of proof is easier to prove in civil court versus criminal court. So there's these different things that are going on, and law enforcement will evaluate, what's the probability of us being able to what's the probability of us being able to successfully prosecute criminal cases versus civil cases? Because in a criminal case, you're going to need something more than a he said, she said. Right. If she's saying, hey, he did this, and he denies it, you don't have a very good case.
Right.
So it's just, each case has to be looked at on a case-by-case basis. But law enforcement is going to be obligated to look into those allegations that are being made and see whether or not there's enough evidence to pursue a criminal filing.